Hi, I'm Erin Blaze. Welcome to The Truth About Real Estate. Today it's a beautiful day, and when the weather's like this, people start thinking about moving, looking at homes, or just going to open houses to see what's going on. Today we are on location. We're not in the studio because most of what happens in real estate doesn't happen in a studio. It doesn't even happen in my office. It happens out here. Today we're going to talk about special programs where you can get free money through tax credits and grants. Let's go take a look and see what we can find. Minnie and Chico like to find houses. Look what Minnie and Chico have found. They found a house for sale that's inside the city limits of Columbia. Any home that's inside the city of Columbia is eligible for a home ownership grant from the city. They can award $5,000 or 5% of the purchase price of the house, whichever is less. In order to get the city grant, you need to meet the income guidelines. For a one-person household, the guidelines are approximately $35,000 of yearly income or less. For two people, $40,000 or less. And for three people, $45,000 or less. To get this grant, the home must pass the city property maintenance code guidelines. So, when you find a house in the city grant area, which is any house inside the city limits, what you need to do is put it under contract and have it inspected by a third-party inspector. That inspection will include all the mechanical items, it will include a structural inspection, and it will also include a wood-destroying insect inspection. Once that inspection's done, the city reads the inspection, then they come to the house and make sure there's nothing else that's concerning to them. One of the most common reasons houses are not able to qualify for the city grant is that they would have peeling paint. If a house has peeling paint, the paint has to be tested to see if there's lead in the paint. If there's lead in the paint, the house will have to have lead abatement done before you can get the grant and move into the house. Otherwise, you will not be able to get the grant. If you are a single parent or a displaced homemaker, you do not have to be a first-time home buyer to qualify for the grant. Otherwise, you need to be a first-time home buyer. Let's see this other house Minnie and Chico found. Looks like a Columbia Community Development home. This home is offered by Columbia Community Development. It's brand new. The price is $114,000. Because the home is brand new, it's under warranty. And if you meet the income guidelines for this program, you can get a grant of $24,000 that would be your down payment. With the $24,000 down payment and the low interest rates we have right now, your payment would only be approximately $700 per month. It's a great program. The stipulation is you must live in the home for 10 years. If you do not live in the home for 10 years, you have to pay it back on a prorated basis. It's a great program. You should check it out. Minnie and Chico and I just stopped by the Columbia Housing Authority to get some information about their home ownership program. If you have a housing choice voucher, you may be eligible to purchase a home instead of renting a home through Section 8. In order to do that, you either need to be a first-time home buyer or be elderly or disabled. If you're not elderly or disabled, you have to have worked at your job for at least 12 months, and you have to have made at least $14,100 per year. It works just like the rental program, only you get to purchase your home. So you will need to get a home loan. In the city of Columbia, Allied Mortgage and Boone County National Bank are both familiar with the program and are happy to talk to people about the program. In order for the house to qualify, it has to be inspected. In addition, the Section 8 people will send someone to do an HQS inspection. The house must meet the housing quality standards in order to participate. You will have to pay part of your house payment in an amount of 30% of your monthly income in order to participate as well. But it's a great program. What if you don't want to live in the city of Columbia? What if your dream is to live in the country or a small town? Well, there's a special program in Missouri called the USDA Rural Development Loan. Over 800 families in the state of Missouri have taken advantage of this program. In order to qualify, you have to meet income guidelines and you have to apply through a lender for financing. It's a no down payment loan. This is currently the only program I know of that requires no down payment. The interest rate is very low. Right now, it's 4.5%, and that's not a teaser rate or an adjustable rate. That is your constant locked-in rate. It's a 33-year loan, and you can use that loan for properties that are in the country, also for properties that are inside small towns. To find out if a property you're interested in is in the zone, all you have to do is go to the USDA website, put in the address, and they'll tell you whether it's eligible or not. If you'd like more information about this program or any of the other programs we've talked about, please email me at thetruthaboutrealestate@gmail.com. Hello, it's Erin Blaze, and we're back to The Truth About Real Estate. Yesterday, Minnie and Chico had to go, so we quit filming, but now we're back because there's one more thing we needed to talk about, and that's the $8,000 tax credit for first-time homebuyers. In order to get the credit, you don't necessarily have to be a first-time homebuyer, but you had to not have owned a house in the last 3 years. When you purchase the home, you must close on it between January 1st and November 30th, 2009. The credit is for 10% of the purchase price up to a maximum of $8,000. You can claim this on your 2008 or 2009 taxes. It's a refundable tax credit, so if you do not owe any taxes, you'll actually get a check back for the $8,000. The income limits are $75,000 for a single person or $150,000 for a married couple. If you have any other questions about this, contact your tax preparer or email me at thetruthaboutrealestate@gmail.com. And thanks for watching. Hi, this is Erin Blaze. Welcome to The Truth About Real Estate. It's another beautiful day in Columbia, Missouri. And if you've been watching the show from the beginning, now you know how you can get free money either from the City of Columbia or in the form of a tax credit to buy a house. So hopefully you're out looking at houses right now. We've had some really good news this week. USA Today named Columbia, Missouri one of the top real estate markets in the country because even though the economy's not doing too great right now, our house prices are still going up a little bit. So it's a good time to buy. You don't want to wait until the prices go up a lot. When you're out looking at houses, I just want to talk about a few potential pitfalls that might come up on your appraisal. I'm just making you aware of this so you won't have any surprises when you're going through the process of buying a house. Today we're at the house that my husband and I purchased last year. We're getting ready to refinance the house at a lower interest rate right now. In order to refinance on an FHA loan, you need to make sure your house does not have any issues that might be pointed out on the appraisal. For example, one of the most common reasons an FHA appraisal will not be accepted by FHA is if the appraiser notes that you have peeling paint on your house. Our house does have some peeling paint, and we'll have to take care of that before we close on our FHA refinance loan. You do not necessarily have to repaint your entire house. You will have to scrape off any defective paint and at least prime it before you close. Let's take a look at our house so you can see what I'm talking about. Right here you can see that several years ago the concrete foundation was painted. The paint hasn't been very well maintained, and so now it's peeling off. In order to close on our refinance loan, we'll have to scrape this and at least prime it. Otherwise, the appraiser will note on our appraisal that we have some peeling paint, and FHA does not allow that at this time. Let's see if there's anything else. Another thing that could hurt you on your appraisal is unfinished projects. As you can see, we're building a brick walkway. It was started by the former owner of the home, and we're going to go ahead and finish it. If you have an unfinished project at your house, you need to finish it before the appraiser comes out. A question I've been commonly asked by clients of mine is, for example, say that they're remodeling their house and they're going to take the carpet out of the family room in their basement. They're going to replace it, but they need the money from the refinance in order to replace it. So they'll say, well, can I just take out the carpet and then after I get my money from the refinance, replace the carpet? That actually won't work. It's going to hurt your value to not have carpet. The room won't be considered finished without carpet. It would be considered finished if the floor was painted. However, the room won't be worth as much with a painted floor as it would be for a carpeted floor. If you can see to my left, Buddy, I'm just going to do a quick commercial for Buddy. He's our foster dog. He's about 7 years old. He's a lab mix. He's absolutely delightful. We've been taking care of him for a few months. If you know someone that would like to adopt this lovely lab mix, please email me at thetruthaboutrealestate@gmail.com. Isn't that right, Buddy? Let's see if there's any other potential issues. This is one of the neighbors' houses. It's been on the market for quite a long while, and we're really hoping someone will buy it and be excited to fix it up and move in. However, this has a potential red flag on the appraisal as well. They have an erosion problem that was caused by putting in a new sewer line. After the new sewer line was put in, no one took any measures to make sure the yard wouldn't wash out. And of course, we've just gone through a wet spring. Now the house needs to have more soil brought in and some grading and some seeding and straw to make sure there's no more washout. This problem will need to be taken care of before someone will be able to get a loan on it, because the appraiser would note that on the appraisal as a red flag, and your lender would want it to be taken care of before closing. Let's see if we can find anything else. Hi, guys. Welcome to my laundry room. It's not a very exciting place, but it did contain a red flag that almost stopped us from being able to purchase the house. Once we had the house inspected, after we had it under contract, the bank ordered an appraisal, and unfortunately the appraiser had to note that this wall appeared to not be stable. The bank required us at our expense to get an engineer to come in and write a report. Basically, if the report said that this wall was structurally sound, we could close. If it wasn't, we were going to have it repaired in order to close on the home. Unfortunately, the wall wasn't stable, and luckily the seller of the house paid to have it stabilized. If you can see in the corner, there's an iron bar. To stabilize the wall, a contractor came over. They took the porch off the side of the house and dug out the yard on the other side. They put this bar here with an anchor that goes out into the yard. They put cement around the anchor and then placed dirt on top and put the porch back where it was. So from the outside, you can't even tell that it's been fixed. But now this wall is stabilized and guaranteed not to move. I've had quite a few phone calls this year from people who are interested in bank-owned houses. They call and they say they want to get a great deal on a home, so they want to buy a bank-owned home. You don't necessarily need to buy a bank-owned home to get a great deal on a home. Sometimes you'll find a good deal on a home owned by a private owner. Also, some of these bank-owned homes are not good deals. They differ a lot. Let's take a look at some of the bank-owned homes to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This is a bank-owned home, and really there's not much difference between this home and any other home you'd look at on the market. The bank decided they were going to go the extra mile on this one. They came in and cleaned the property thoroughly. They painted it inside and out. They cleaned up the yard. They replaced all the flooring throughout the property. The home is in good condition. As you can see, the windows are in good condition. The roof is in good condition. It was very well taken care of by the previous owner. This house is in a great neighborhood, and the house has large rooms. There's plenty of room. It has many nice features, including lots of cabinet space. The bank that owns this property has never been in it, so they're really not sure what works and does not work. Each bank sells a property, they have different stipulations. For example, on this house, the bank does not know if the appliances work, so on the listing it says, assume appliances do not work. The house will be sold as is, which means they will not do any repairs for the new buyer. However, they will turn the utilities on, so you can check the house out thoroughly. All banks use their own contract. The contract will usually have as-is sale clauses in them. You cannot use the contract that a realtor would normally use that's prepared by their board attorney. You must use the bank's contract. Sometimes banks will not pay for your title work either. In Colombia, normally the seller pays the majority of the title work fees. On a bank-owned home, you should plan that you might have to pay for your own title insurance. Let's take a look at a few more of the rooms. There's 4 bedrooms. There's 2 full baths and a half bath. And there's a family room in the basement with a fireplace. This house has a large yard, and the backyard is fenced. There's also mature trees. Here we are at another bank-owned home. As you can see, the difference between this home and the other is quite a bit. The owner of this home has elected not to do any work to the property. It could use some new flooring. It could use some new painting. And it could use some cleaning as well. Take a look so you can see the difference. The utilities are turned off in this property, and with this bank, if you would like to get the property inspected, you must pay for the property to be unwinterized and then re-winterized. And then the utilities will only be on for the inspections. When they winterize a property, what they do is shut off the water, they remove all the water from the pipes, they drain the water heater, and then they put antifreeze in all the traps. This allows them to keep the heat off while the property is on the market, and it prevents freeze damage. This is the master suite. Let's take a look at some of the other rooms. This is the laundry room. There's some tiles in the laundry room that have been taken up because they were damaged. This is a potential red flag on the appraisal. It may have to be taken care of before the house could close. However, the purchaser will not be able to use FHA financing. They'll have to use conventional financing or pay cash because of some of the defects in the property. The home does have good potential for fix-up. It has wood floors that could be refinished. Painting the property with a fresh coat of paint could make quite a bit of difference in both the appearance and the smell of the property. This property has a stale smell to it because it's been closed up for several months. Here's the kitchen. As you can see, instead of saying that the appliances aren't warranted, they've gotten rid of all of them except for the dishwasher. On this property, when you purchase it, you have to use the bank's forms. You cannot use the contract that realtors normally use. And it is an as-is sale, meaning the owner will not fix anything. Sometimes banks offer special financing deals on homes that they own. For example, this property is a Fannie Mae home, so you can use their home path financing. They left flyers regarding the home path financing in the house. And this is a low down payment option. If you'd like more information about HomePath or any other special financing, email me at thetruthaboutrealestate@gmail.com. Let's take a look outside. The yard of this property is one of its best features. It's nearly an acre. Now we're outside this bank-owned home. As you can see, on the exterior, the pluses are that it has brand new vinyl siding and a new architectural shingle roof. On the negative, there's peeling paint. You can see on the exterior, in order for this house to be purchased on FHA, all peeling paint would have to be taken care of. But one of the best things about this house is the yard. It's probably about an acre. There's a huge front yard and a huge backyard. The yard goes back beyond where they've stopped mowing. This would be a great place to have a very large garden or even a greenhouse.